Malawi Brief.
Harry Nkandawire amene ndi nduna yakale ya zachitetezo nawonso afika ku komiti imene ikupanga kafukufuku wa ngozi ya ndege. Iwowa awuza komiti kuti kusakasaka kwa ndege pa nthawi imene inasowa sikunayimisidwe ngati mmene zimamvekera. Takhalani pomwepo kuti muamve.
Agrees with me because I saw him on the TV mentioning exactly what happened. He was in company with the Honorable Chimwendo and another person. I don't know whether it was Honorable Zikuwulurika. Mine was to inform him that the Vice President was not going to make it because the plane, if contacted, would be returning to Lilongwe. So I don't see where we are differing with the brother to Kasambara. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Chair. My last one, for now, point number 3, search and recovery operations. You're saying, Honorable Chairperson and members, I was directly involved in the search. I was among the first to arrive at the crash site, where I met the Inspector General, Mr. Victor Rungu, and officials from Airport Development Limited. I'll stop there because the other one is talking about the congestion at Mzuzu Airport. But I just want to understand, when you say you were the first to arrive at the crash site, are you talking about the first day, the 10th, or you're talking about the 11th? Because the search operations started on the 10th. So this statement, is it for the 10th or the 11th?
Chair, search started in the afternoon of the 10th and went on throughout the night. The wreckage was discovered in the morning of 11th. And as I said, I was one of the first to arrive on the site of the crash. Again, when I say the Inspector General was there, then he was a Commissioner of Police North.
Thank you very much. Chair, I think my question has not been answered, because what I'm asking the Honorable former Minister is his joining of the search. Was it on, he's talking about the 10th or 11th? In other words, maybe let me be direct. Honorable former Minister, did you join the search on 10th? Maybe let me ask like that.
Thank you very much, Chair. I arrived in Mzuzu in the evening. I was at the funeral almost the whole day, because I made sure I went to the burial site. We did some walking of over 7 kilometers because of the terrain to the burial site. When I arrived, I had to make sure that I make phone calls. The commander assured me that the search was ongoing, and I was getting reports from him almost every 30 minutes or so. I was passing on the whatever information I had to the head of state, whether by phone or by text. So to answer your question, Honorable, my joining of the search was on the 11th.
Thank you very much, Chair. I want you to take note. The mention of evening arrival in Mzuzu, There is a 3 p.m. that was mentioned. I just want also you to take note. I think that's all from me for now. Thank you, Chair.
Chair,
Thank you so much, Chair. I think
Chair.
I wanted.
Let me recognize Zombas Central South.
Citizen.
Yeah, you said you got a clarification.
Yeah, clarification.
Okay.
Chairperson, Honorable Nkandawire, you have, I'm referring now to 2.0 under 3, where Honorable Mwanza Central was asking about time, and you said it's between 7 and 8 p.m. This should be on the 9th. Can you confirm? So, if it's on the 9th, if you go to the next page, it shows that later, after the VP might not attend, later it was decided that the president would be, let me say, the VP was supposed now to attend the funeral. It was agreed between 7 and 8. Can you confirm? This is on the 9th.
Chair, that was on the 9th.
Thank you.
In the evening.
Thank you. Now, Chair, I just wanted you to refer to the report from the previous commission. On page 14, SPC told the commission that on the morning of the 10th of June 2024, the SPC sent a message to His Excellency, etc., etc. I will take you, if you follow that that paragraph, you go to page 15, confusion to say who is going to represent the president at Kasambala's funeral. You remember that confusion. So I wanted you to also, how do I put this? On the second paragraph, on page 15, it's written, it was the SPC's testimony that at that point, she immediately reverted to His Excellency the President to correct the miscommunication, because the VP initially was referred to as you in the understanding of the President then, but later on, when SPC discovered that the second citizen was in the country, she went back to the President to clarify that what I meant by VP, I meant Honorable Saulos Chirima. Meaning, in the morning, on the 10th, is when the President knew that the Vice President had arrived.
Chakwera, that they should delegate. So he delegated Honorable Chimwendo Banda to attend on his behalf. The memo from that was deployed to the President. And when you mentioned that approximately 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. you spoke to the President about the same and he delegated to you, I want you to go back, replay the tape in your memory and to confirm, just like what Zomba City South actually asked. Does this mean that the President then at this evening delegated 2 people to represent him? I think that's the issue that I wanted to get clarification there, because there is that confusion. The memo asked Honorable Chimwendo, and then the same evening you were contacted. So I want you to really go back to your memory on that one and confirm to us as requested by Zomba City South. And again, just a clarity, Chair, sorry, it's just a question of clarity. On number 3, because Zomba touched on it, and I think Mwanza Central touched on it, you said you advised to hold on the request to use the donia, I'm thinking. So you said, and the President indicated that the Vice President might not attend after his long trip from South Korea. And the commander later confirmed clearance Now I want you to go back to the clearance here. Is the clearance here about the use of the aircraft or the clearance for the Vice President to attend? I want just a clarity on that one, Chair. Thank you so much.
Can we get further clarification so we can close this matter and move to the next question?
Thank you very much, Chair. Let me thank Honorable Member for Zomba City South. The President was he aware about the Vice President intention to attend or not? I think that was the question, Honorable. If
Chair, I wanted to know, because there's a confusion, you have said, as we were responding to Mwanza Central, that between 7 and 8 p.m. on the 9th, around there is when the state president then knew and cleared the travel of the vice president to the north. On the 9th, between 7 and 8. But the Commission of Inquiry report that I was reading, it was in the morning on the 10th, when the ex-president knew that SKC was in the country. And thereafter, after he knew, on the 10th is when he delegated him to go to attend the Raf Kasambala's funeral.
Thank you very much. I have not read the commission that is being referred to by the honorable member, but let me refer you to my statement. That's number 3. Shortly thereafter, the commander informed me that a request had been received to deploy a Donia aircraft to ferry the vice president to the funeral. I advised him to hold the request, as the former president had indicated that the vice president might, let me emphasize the word might. The former president was assuming that the vice president, having traveled all the way from South Korea, he might be too tired to proceed to the north. So emphasis here is about might not make it. If they had agreed, I would have been saying the vice president would make it. So to answer your question, Honorable, the president was assuming, that was my understanding, that his vice president might not make it. But clearance, the same night, he was informed that the vice president wanted to travel, and he cleared. That's when we had agreed that the vice president, being my senior, I should proceed and welcome him. He was going to be there for a short while, make a speech at the funeral, and quickly go back to Lilongwe, because that day in the evening, the president was traveling to Bahamas. Then the president said, okay, you pave way, because it would not bode well that you are there representing me and the vice president is there. It would look awkward. And I said, yes, I'll do that. It happened before on the funeral of Honorable Gudo Gondwe. The president asked me to represent him, but the vice president came in his own personal capacity. But even though I had to go to him to say, no, can you speak on behalf of the president, being my boss in cabinet? So to answer your question, that's what happened.
Chair, I think it's very clear that he's talking about the 9th. Because
yes.
what we have read, shortly thereafter, the commander informed me that a request had been received to deploy a Donia to ferry the vice president to the burial. That was on the 9th, between 7 and 8.
It was on the evening of the 9th.
Exactly,
yes.
exactly. So I wanted you just to confirm to say it's on the 9th, between 7 and 8. Because what I was reading in the Commission of Inquiry report was that the president knew in the morning on the 10th that the vice president had arrived in the country. It's just a difference. I just wanted to confirm that it was on the 9th.
Okay,
yeah.
I get you. Honorable Chair, whosoever has mentioned about the 10th, I don't know. I didn't make that statement. You would have to check with the SPC.
So this answers the question of Zomba City South and
I hope it does.
Lilongwe Mudi. I want to proceed because we can't get stuck in one area. The question remains, did the head of state delegate the former vice president to represent him at the funeral of Ralph Kasambala? I think that's a quick question. And when was it made? So you are clarifying that this was made on the 9th, correct? So can we move on? Can we move on to the next question? Yeah.
I think Lilongwe Mude's question has not been answered.
Okay.
Yeah, because he asked in the report, there's a mention that Honorable Chimwendo, there was a memo that Honorable Chimwendo was assigned by the president, delegated by the president, to represent the president at the funeral. So this statement here from the former honorable minister, he's saying that the president delegated him when he spoke to the president at 7 p.m. So Lilongwe Mude is trying to get clarification on that. Thank you, Chair.
And the Chair, the clarification on the clearance here. I just want him to confirm whether the clearance is for the use of the aircraft or the clearance is for the delegation. So I want that confirmation as well. Thank you so much, Chair.
Can we clarify that so that we're not stuck on one issue? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, if Honorable Chimwendo was delegated, he would have been the one speaking. He was there when I was speaking on behalf of the president. So to answer your question, I was the one delegated and Honorable Chimwendo was there. And then clearance was for the
witness, the former minister of defense. I'll take you, good evening, honorable former minister.
Good evening.
I'll take you to the presentation, your presentation you have given. And this is we'll start on the 3 points, on bullet number 3. The clearance which you had paused from the commander to seek clearance to the head of state. And then in your statement, you say the commander had later confirmed to you that the clearance was sought to the president on the use of a donia by the then our former late vice president. Having earlier on already spoke to the president on the phone, did you try to confirm with the president on this clearance?
Chair, I can't remember that after that we spoke, but I took the word from the commander that he had gotten clearance from the commander-in-chief. It was getting too late at that time, so I can't remember.
So you didn't seek clearance from the president. You didn't check with the president if indeed the commander had seek clearance on the issue of Donia.
No, all what I remember was that the president telling me that if the vice president is going, then you pave way for him, and I think I mentioned that.
That was the first call with the president or the second one?
Oh, Chair, admittedly, I can't remember. There were several phone calls that night.
Let's go to the funeral. You were saying on breed number 5, on the 10th, when you arrived there at 8:30, you have said we waited for the vice president until around 11 a.m. I'll not go read through the whole of it because you're the one who have read it, you have presented and you know it. As Ido Wakasangadzi said, we had the Minister of Justice here last Wednesday, who had said in his submission, an announcement was made at the funeral 2 minutes past 10, rather at 10 o'clock, 2 minutes before the initial flight of the Vice President, which was set to land at Zuzu Airport, ordered the funeral ceremony to start, and that the Vice President was not coming. The Minister of Justice was very clear on timing, saying this announcement was made at 10 a.m. at the funeral. Can you confirm what time did the funeral ceremony start?
The funeral ceremony must have started around 11. And the ordering of the funeral ceremony to start was not made by me. I don't remember who made that statement to say the funeral should start, but I assume it must have been the family because they were on top of things.
Your last bullet in 4.0, the recommendation and advice you had made to Defense Council to act upon, you are saying this advice was not acted upon. For you, Chair, I don't understand, you as the Chair of Defense Council, then the Minister, can you tell this community who didn't act upon on this advice?
I made a proposal, having gotten the recommendation from our German colleagues that ELTs must be repressed in the donias. So I made a recommendation. I proposed that we should ground the remaining donia up until the ELT is repressed. Now, what was not done by the MDF is to ground the donia. But the process of procurement of the ALT started. I'm not sure where it is now. But,
no, it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Chair, what I wanted to the clear is the programming process, you have already said it. So you are saying the advice to ground the other donia is the one which was not taken. You as a minister, and the Chair of Defense Council, you advises the MDF to ground the donia, but it was not taken, those advice.
It was not taken, and I did mention to the Commander-in-Chief that here was my proposal to the Defense Council.
That's it. I think you are taking note on that.
Chair Uzonzivai.
Thank you so much, Chair, for granting us, the people of Zimvai constituency, to ask questions to Honorable Harry Kandawiri. I have 3 questions to you, Honorable Kandawiri. I understand there was an order. Of course, we don't know where that order was coming from. I wish to appreciate from you who ordered the activation of the MDF search and rescue on the 10th June 2024 and under what authority? Secondly, were you as a minister consulted or informed before that order was given? My last question is, the search was called off on the evening of the 10th June 2024. Were you consulted or informed before the decision to go off the search was made? If yes, what was the reason behind the call off? Thank you.
No, Mr. Let's exhaust these questions.
Thank you very much. Through you, Chair, I'd like to thank Ncheu Zozo Vai.
Ncheu Zonzi Mvai.
Oh, sorry, Honorable.
Thank you.
Ncheu Zonzo Mvai.
Zonzi. Yes. Zonzi when you Zonzi.
Okay. Thank you. Order 10th June. The commander called me, and he mentioned that he called the commander-in-chief as well to say siege had ensued on the same 10th of June. So to answer your question, he spoke to the commander-in-chief. He reported to me, and I told him, go ahead. We need to start siege immediately. To say, Chair, let me also emphasize here, to answer your second question, Honorable Ncheu, MDF never called off the siege on the 10th. I know that the police did. We're talking about MDF here. It never stopped the siege. The siege went on until the wreckage was discovered.
The name of the police officer who called off the
I don't know. All what I know is that I got a report from MDF that we're going ahead. We'll be on the ground the whole night. Our colleagues have called off the siege. I didn't get the name of the police who.
Katabe North.
Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the supplementary from Ncheu Nzonzi. Mr. Former Minister, about the call for the siege, we had one of the witnesses here. I think Winnie Nyondo. She confirmed here. She told this committee that on that day she saw there were a group of people, police and the army. They were together, calling off the siege together. Would you confirm? Because now we are getting different statement. Because the lady, she was there with the police, with the army, and she couldn't identify a person who called off for the siege. And you say that the army continue. Can you prove to us how did this went on?
Thank you, Nkatabe, Honorable Nkatabe North. Mine is just to confirm that MDF never called off the siege. Now, if this witness says that the siege was called off, I don't know who told her. It's not easy for an individual to see that the siege has been called off. I wish she had told this committee chair who told her that the siege had been called off. In as far as I'm concerned, which I think the commander will also confirm, is that the siege went on up until the wreckage was discovered.